Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. Hi, welcome. My name is Laura and I am coming to you from Folk Yarn Studio, which is my workspace, my yarn studio in the most easterly town in England, which is Lowestoft in the UK. I am very tired today. Please excuse me if I am a little bit all over the place. If you are a returning viewer, hi, welcome back to the madness. If you're a new viewer, hi, come on in to the madness. I am a yarn dyer. I dye as the Lonely Knitter. My website is Folk Yarn Studio. That is also where I sell folk yarn. It is East Anglian wool, spun in Yorkshire, brought back to me in Lowestoft. It is in quite a few now. My brain has completely gone blank. I really am tired. I have it in colours that are dyed at mill, and I also have it in undyed, and I dye a little myself. I'm also the organiser of East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is an annual yarn show in Norwich in Norfolk. We're on the run up to it now because it is a March annual show and we are in February. Today is Wednesday the 5th of February. Have I said that already? I don't know. My brain is completely empty. So yeah, you can find the details below. I'll put links in the little description box below along with my show notes. I have a few Makealongs that are running. I am co-hosting the Friends That Grimble Together Make-Along with Helen of Giddy Yarns, of the Giddy Knits podcast, and also amazing yarn dyer behind Giddy Yarns. I have the book. This is the Gnomes of Grimblewood book by Sarah Schira. These are the patterns that I'm working through, but any patterns by Sarah Schira at all are absolutely fine to use as part of our Makealong. It's just a bit of fun. There's no really strict rules, but if you do join in and you make some gnomes, we are drawing prizes halfway along the way and at the end as well. We're running those in our Discord groups. Again, you can find the link below for Discord. My Discord is a, hopefully, I think, friendly, chatty little space. I try and check in at least once a day. I also have my 5 minutes a day crafting channel. The only other Makealong that I think I have to talk about is my finished objects channel in the Discord group. So there is a specific finished objects channel. If you make anything 50% or more my yarn, you can pop a picture in there, and quarterly I am drawing prizes from that channel just on the podcast. Random little bit of fun. I do have another thing going at the moment. There is a giveaway on my last video, so if you haven't watched episode 21, head on back to that one and I have a giveaway for you there. Also, I am wearing a woolly thing. If you see any ends hanging out of it anyway, do not judge me. I wove in the ends that were visible on the outside. I don't want to do the others, I can't be bothered. It's been a long time since I finished this project and I haven't done it yet, so honestly it's never going to happen. This is, let me put my knitting down, this is the Granny Hexagon cardigan. There are a few different Granny Hexy cardigan patterns out there. This one is by Kelly Phelps of Craft and a Cuppa, and I made it from Giddy Yarns. I think one of these is Kings and Queens of Narnia, and the other one might be Edmund's Betrayal. Now I feel like I've made that up completely. Helen, if you are watching and you know what colours these are, let me know. It doesn't fit me how it used to. I don't care. It's oversized. I love it. When I haven't got a shawl pin or anything attaching it, I'll take it off. This is my shawl pin. I can't remember who I got this from. I bought it at GSOY, Glasgow School of Yarn. It's a shawl pin. It's a frog. It's amazing. Also, when you put it together, it kind of looks like looks a little rude. I am sure that frogs do not have parts like that in that way. Maybe they do. I have no idea about the anatomy of a frog. I don't know how I've got onto this. I got this at Glasgow School of Yarn. I have no idea if this is focusing. It's incredibly cute. But yeah, I have a frog which just holds it across because otherwise it's quite large and obviously it doesn't have shaping because it's just two big hexagons and it flaps quite a lot. Okay, onto the podcast proper. I have no finished objects. I think I warned about this last week. Also, I have a purple finger. I had a very purple finger yesterday. Now I just have a purple fingernail. It's not dirty, it's dye. Yeah, I have no finished objects. I know I warned about that last week. There's just no way that I could have finished any of the things that I was casting on because it's been crazy. I don't get an awful lot of time to knit. I'm just trying to squidge it in wherever I can. So we're going to move straight onto whips, and the first one I'm going to get out is now attached to my other project. This is the Daft Days cardigan. This is, why have I left it like that? The Daft Days cardigan, which is a pattern by the Creya Bayer, that is Rebecca Clow. It's a cardigan in DK weight. It's striping, it stripes through. and it is one of the Makealong patterns for this year's East Anglia Yarn Festival. So I always say that I want to make the Makealongs for East Anglia Yarn Festival. I never give myself enough time, and I think that I can make, yeah, a whole cardigan in a week. But I really do want the Daft Days cardigan, and I have had it on my list for forever. Last week I chose some of the colours of my Folk DK, so I have cast on. So last week I think I just showed you the yarn. You make it, I don't want to give away too much from the pattern, but I'm knitting the sides and the back at the moment together, so you make it as one piece at the moment, and I love it. I'm gonna come closer and hopefully you can see it. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. So the purple is Holt, the red is Sandringham, and the pink is California GY, California Great Yarmouth. I have on here, this was just marking the right side back when I was doing the rib, but this is a Flame Knits, I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all, Flame Knits stitch marker. It's a cauldron. I realise we're not anywhere near Halloween. I don't care, I love it. It's made of glass. Flame Knits stitch markers are amazing. And now I have popped it in just here so that we can have a little like tracker on my progress, and I can check in with you for next time. So that's where I am now on my Daft Days. I've made a start, we're getting there. I've got the yarn in my project bag. This is what I've gone through so far. So we are cracking through the Holt. I need to actually remember to grab myself another skein of DK pretty soon and stick it in the bag. Those colours, these colours are all available on my website if you'd like them. My second whip. This is another project that I said I was going to cast on this week. So whip number 2 is living in this gorgeous Lay Family yarn bag. This is their, I believe, their hand-dyed yarn, woven and then sewn into a bag. I bought it from Lay Family Yarn. And inside I have cast on my Sweet Shop blanket. So this is my foundation square. I'd really hoped to get this all finished, like the first 3 squares finished before I recorded. It just wasn't going to happen. So my first square, foundation square, second square, and then the third one I will put here. I see I'm halfway through. I've just moved over to the undyed yarn. On this one I have more ends than I need to because I accidentally broke my yarn. I was very tired last night and I broke the yarn thinking I was done when actually I still needed one more row, and I will, once I've got these 3 squares put in, I'm going to weave all my ends in so that that's done. The Sweet Shop blanket is a pattern by Laura Penrose. By next week I aim to have the 3rd square in there as well, and we'll have 3 squares ready for when I get the February minis to show you. It's my own club that we got this mini skein club. March is currently open because February is now closed. Thank you so much to everyone that has signed up for those clubs. I still haven't managed to get my spares from January. We got those minis on the website. I will do it at some point, probably next week. Everything's just a bit crazy at the moment. So on to whip number 3. Now this is not a whip that I showed you last week. However, I did mention that I really wanted to make some DK socks. I have real issues with my circulation and I love a DK weight sock, extra snuggly. Yeah, so I cast on a sock. I cast this on in A&E the other night. I will tell you about that at the end. And I literally just knit this much while I was sat in A&E. I also did a few rows on my Daft Days and totally rejigged the floor plan for East Anglia Yarn Festival because I was in there for a very long time. Again, I will talk about that at the end. So this is just my vanilla pattern. I don't have a pattern that I use for DK weight socks. I do a 48 stitch cast on like 15 rounds I think for 2x2 rib, and then I think I did about 25-ish rounds for the leg. I just go with whatever feels good at the time. Heel flap and gusset, and I am now finished with that gusset and going on down the foot. I would really like to have this finished by next episode. I can't see why I wouldn't, because that's DK weight socks are fast. I'm making mine on 3.25mm and I use magic loop. So yeah, this is not my yarn. This is Dusty Dimples. I grabbed this out of my stash. I have a few, I don't actually have that much in terms of DK weight yarn that has nylon in it, because I tend to grab 100% merino. Maybe that needs to be my next sort of stash enhancement thing that I build up on. But I have this skein. It is Dusty Dimples. I've kept my yarn band, and it is Dusty DK in the colourway Caroccio. But yeah, so this, I'm hoping this will be finished by next week, and the second one cast on. I'm going to cast it on straight away afterwards so that I don't get second sock syndrome, but ultimately it's a DK weight sock. It's not going to take me ages. I don't think I'm going to get second sock syndrome like I do with sock weight yarn because it just takes so little time to make up a sock. It's living in this little bag that has taken an absolute battering, but I absolutely love, and I'm pretty sure that this was given to me by my friend Mia a really long time ago. I haven't seen Mia in a while because she shut down her business, and she'd had some stuff in stash. I'm sure that's where this came from, but it's gorgeous. It's a down Sheepy Lane bag. It's been dragged around a lot with me, and it's got some marks on it. I could probably do the wash, but it's a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory themed print, and it says down here, you've found the last golden ticket, and there's Charlie and Willy Wonka. Yeah, I love it. Roald Dahl books are hot in my house. We read them a lot. I read them a lot as a child. They're just beloved stories. So yeah, it's living in here. I need to wash this bag. It's very dinky. It has a chunky handle. I don't tend to use the handle on this very much actually, but it is the perfect size for socks. So those are all my whips, and this week I do have stash enhancement. So I have bought two things. The first thing that I have bought is a pattern, and that is the Someone to Gnome About mini pattern by Sarah Schira. Somebody in my Discord group had talked about it, and I went online this morning and bought the pattern because I love the idea of it. It's not in my gnome plan, but honestly, I can go off plan. I want another gnome. It's the little socks that really get me. I need that gnome in my life. And the second thing is something that I bought and I was waiting for last week, and it is a project bag, and it's caught around my chair. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Here we are. It's not done up. It's very messy. I don't know why I have left it like this to show you. But this is the redesigned, I want to say Project 39, but now my brain is actual smush. There we go. It's a Project 39 project bag. It's an expensive purchase. I am going to use this bag to within an inch of its life. It is coming everywhere with me. No one else is allowed to touch it. I am no, it's probably one of the more expensive things that I own. Expensive things make me nervous. I'm quite clumsy, and I don't want to ruin it, and I've already broken it. I might do a separate video and just show you it, but this is the Project 39. It is a crossbody bag. I'm using it like a handbag. It has, maybe I won't do a video because I'll just show it you now, but it has, oh, it's all gone. Look, I'm messy. I did not prepare this. So it's got like a flap pocket here, and I've been putting my crochet hooks and things in there, and I drew on it with a pen the very first time that I tried to put things in it. I tried to put a pen in, a clicky pen. It's not a good idea because it unclicked. This is why I don't have expensive things. Anyway, yeah, crossbody strap, and it can detach, which I love. And then when you open it, and this is the thing that sold it to me, the reason I bought one is because I had a Monday morning stitch morning for my lovely ladies, and they came in, and one of them, so if you're seeing this, Mandy, it's your fault, had this bag, and it cracked me completely. It opens and lays flat. So in here is literally everything I've been working on, and that's why I've been working on multiple projects, because I can easily carry them around. So in here I have my blanket whip, my socks, and I have kept them in separate bags just to keep it all neat and tidy. But then on the other side I have my Daft days. Yeah, I might do a separate little here's what's in my bag, because I've also, it's got pockets everywhere, and I have put my, where is my zip? Here it is. I'd love it to have two zips. That would be better, because then you could sort of open it a bit at the top as well. And then it has two handles like this, and this popper little snap that should keep them together. And this is the bit that I've broken, and when I don't know how I've broken it, but I've got the snap both sides of it, so I'll keep them, and I'm going to take it to a little shop near where I live. It's a little independent shop that does like key cutting and fixing shoes and stuff like that. I'll take it there and see if they can put the piece back in. But I literally had it done up, and it was the first time I'd had it done up as well, and I just unpopped it, and both the parts of the snap had come away from here. One part was left here, and the other piece just fell on the floor. I picked them both up, and I unattached that one and put them in the bag. So I have them both, and I'm hoping I can get them replaced. Because I was sad, because I was like, it's such an expensive thing, and you don't expect that to happen. But I, think it was probably a one-off, because everybody else raves about them, and I can probably get it fixed myself, so I'm probably not going to bother hassling them about it. But yeah, redesigned, Project 39. I love it. It's walnut and gold, I think, is the colour of the bag. That's what it says online. I bought it from Beautiful Knitters in London. There are a few stockists in the UK. I think Tribe Yarns are one as well. I just went with whoever had it. This is the colour I wanted. I knew I wanted this colour. Everyone else had it on pre-order, and Beautiful Knitters had one in stock. I was like, it's meant to be, and I ordered it, and now it's my most prized possession. Things might look different in just a minute. I have to go out and time has run away with me today, so I'm going to do all of the rest of my sections when I come back later, so the lighting will be slightly different most likely, and I might look like slightly different. So yeah, let's see how much of a changeover this is. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that anyone is going to think that that was a smooth transition. Hi, I'm back. There's no point even trying to pretend. I had to go out, and then time still ran away from me, and then I went and got my children from school, and they are currently over in Chris's office, which is opposite where I rent for the studio, and I have left him trying to work with the kids. I will regain my children very shortly, so I still do not have lots of time, and I have lost my granny Hexagon cardigan to a child, and I have gained a sticker. You probably can't see it from there. I'm not going to stand up and bring this part of me right up to the camera. I have gained a well done monkey sticker that Alfie got for using his manners and doing good listening today at school. But it wasn't sticking very well, so he insisted that I need it, and I needed sellotape to keep it safe, which is very cool, and I'm very happy with it. Okay, I've got my knitting. I'm ready to carry on. So I have been recording everything in my planner, so when it comes to plans and planners, my planner is up to date. Plans otherwise. Now let's talk about the plan that I keep making and that never happens. It is spinning. Okay, I do have a good reason for why I didn't get spinning this week. I wanted to get spinning on my Ashford kiwi that I have. I have a lovely secondhand Ashford kiwi from my lovely friend that I want to get going on and just haven't got around to. And this week I had planned to put my first Magical Worlds Club fibre onto it and start spinning. So this is, in fact I will stand up this one, but this is, there we go. So this is the Clouds, which is January's colourway on fibre. So with Magical Worlds, it comes on a choice of fibre or a sock set, and the fibre club changes every month because I want to try lots of different fibre. I know lots of other folks like to try different fibres, and I kicked it off with this one, which is folk fibre. So this is special to me, but it is my own blend, my folk yarn, but in the fibre form because I had fibre done this time. So for January we've had folk. That is not where we're going now. The rest of the 11 months left in this club will all be different fibres. Yeah, so this one's sort of special to me because it's the folk fibre as well, and I want to spin it. So I was going to spin it on the wheel. I haven't spun it on the wheel. I'll tell you why in life stuff. I have a reason why I could not spin on my manual wheel, but I just haven't got around to spinning on my e-spinner either, and I don't know what I need to do to give myself the kick up the bum to make it happen. It's just that I haven't had a lot of time, and every time I don't have a lot of time and get like a 5-minute little break, that's something where I can pick up knitting. It feels like I can pick it up easier than I can just starting and doing a bit of spinning, but my e-spinner is living out on a table, so I don't understand why I'm not doing it. I'm just having a lot of fun with my knitting at the moment. So yeah, that is my fibre plan, and I keep hoping that if I leave it out and stare at it, I'm going to do something with it, but because of the thing that I'm going to tell you about at the end, this will be on my e-spinner, not on the manual wheel. My other plan is to, I'm going to put this down because I'll keep pressing it into my face. My other plan, so I want to finish at least one of these by next episode. I'd love to have the pair finished, to be honest, mainly because I want to wear them. And then I want to cast on some more DK weight socks. So my plan is to use these. I don't know which of these. I'm thinking striping DK weight socks out of these for me. But I'm also feeling this. Now this is something I haven't shown you before. So these are my Valentine's colourways for this year, and these ones are coming to live with me. So we have Bewitched, Bothered, Bewildered. Bewitched, Bothered, Bewildered. They are my Valentine's colourways for this year, and I would like a pair out of this one. I don't know if this is going to show very well. I'm going to stand up. So I would like one pair out of this one, And then I would like a pair where I stripe these two. So these 3 colours, I would like these to all become DK weight socks. Originally, I was just going with these 2, and I really liked the pink that was sort of in here, but not this pink as well. I like it all, obviously, but I wanted to pull out that pink as well. And I ended up with these 3 colours. I know there is a song, I think it's an Ella Fitzgerald song, called Bewitched, Bothered, Bewildered. That is not what I have specifically named it after. I have named these colours after episode 16 of series 2 of Buffy, because I've had Buffy is like Doctor Who, like a lot of TV shows of my younger years. That's one of my comfort watches, or one of my have it on in the background when I am working things that I'm not really watching because I've seen them a million times before. Buffy is one of those for me, just having noise in the background when I'm here working on my own. So yeah, I thought I would take that Valentine's episode and name my yarn colours after them, and yeah. It's a bit silly really, and I should be able to get 2 pairs of striped socks out of 2 full skeins of DK weight yarn. This is not my Luxe sock base, this is what I call my sturdy sock base, which I offered for Advent this past year, which I don't stock regularly. And as I was watching Buffy while I was dyeing up my pre-orders for Advent, full skeins and things, mini skein sets and other things that I have opened up now, that's now closed, this idea was just sat in my brain and I really wanted to do it. So I have these on DK, they are coming home with me. I'm going to cake them up and I am going to start on DK socks as soon as this one is finished. So I'm not allowed to start them until I have a pair of socks from this skein of Dusty Dimples. Oh, actually that looks nice with those. Anyway, I have them for me, but I have to dye a whole pan, so I have a few other skeins. So I'm going to have a very small in stock update on Friday the 7th. I'm going to say midday for this one, because I had a couple of people ask me if I ever do shop updates at a slightly different time. I will have a little bit of in stock. I'm not doing pre-orders for this because I'm still working through all of my pre-orders for the All of Time and Space collection. That's going really well. Quite a few people have already had their yarn sent out, because I'm not dyeing it all and then sending it all at the end, because it becomes a massive job at the end and I want to get people their yarn as fast as possible. So I've made a whole dye schedule, but where people have just got one colour, as my schedule, as I hit that colour, then their yarn dries and I just quickly skein that up and send it out straight away, rather than making everybody wait until all the 24 colours have been done right at the very end. So I know a few people have already got their orders. We're not anywhere near the time for the shipping anyway, but still, I didn't feel good opening a pre-order when we hadn't yet got to the point of this pre-order all going, so that doesn't feel right to me. But I do have some in stock. So I have a couple more DK, so if anybody would like sturdy DK and wants to make DK weight socks with me, there will be a few of these hitting the shop. And then I have a couple of sock sets that are like this. So you get a full, I don't know if this is focusing, you get yourself with one of these sock sets there we go, you get a full skein of Bewitched and then a mini skein each of Bothered and Bewildered. These are my new thing. I had this for the All of Time and Space pre-order. I want to offer 50-gram skeins just as an option to have something that is potentially a little bit more affordable, and I just thought this was a way, with the increasing costs of everything nowadays, this is a way that I can offer something so you can get something in a slightly smaller amount but still do the thing and be able to make a thing out of it. So these are my 50-gram skeins. So I'm going to hold these up as well. So these are what I'm calling twisty 50s. Now I had these for my it's all gone wrong. So what I will have in this is it focusing? I'm not sure. What I will have in this in stock update is there will be a couple of listings where you can have the bundle of 3, so that's 150 grams of sock weight yarn. It is high twist, but you don't lose any of the yardage with this, any of the meterage with this base. So there'll be a couple of sets where you get all 3 together as a bundle, and then there will also be a few that I have kept to one side that are individual. So you can just get 50 grams of Bewitched, and you can just get 50 grams of Bothered and 50 grams of Bewildered. totally separately if there's one that you particularly like, and then you could put that together with a mini skein and make yourself a pair of socks. And yeah, so these ones, they are exactly half the price of my full skeins, my 100-gram skeins, because that's how I've done it. So yeah, that was plans, because these ones are mine and are coming home with me, but it ended up also kind of being shop news because those were on the same pile and ended up with me talking about them as well. Okay, on to reading. I have finally finished The Wives by Valerie Keough. Oh my gosh, that was a slog. I don't like to give bad book reviews, it makes me feel a bit icky, but I didn't enjoy it, and I suppose not every book can be for everyone. So I have finished it. I did read it through to the end. There was one high point where it got interesting, where somebody died. Up until that, it was a long, hard slog. Then the person died and I went, oh, something's happening now. And then from that point on, I didn't believe any of it. And I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't really like the main character. And then there was a twist at the end that just felt pointless. And I feel so bad. And I'm sure there'll be someone out there who goes, I read The Wives and it was brilliant. But I didn't believe any of it. That nearly derailed me and got me to just plonk my Kindle down and not pick it back up for a while. But I finished the book and I started a new one. I did buy a book. I bought episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I'll put a picture up. I'm 12% of the way through and it's all right so far. So I chose this book because I was on Facebook actually, like an interesting cover, and the review that someone had given it was really good. And I just thought, I'm going to screenshot it and remember that for when I next need a book. And I finished The Wives and remembered that I had screenshotted something. Went back into my screenshots on my phone, of which are about 50 million. That's not true. There are not 50 million. I'll put on screen how many there actually are. I feel like it is a lot, considering I often wipe them all because I don't ever look back. I always screenshot things. I don't know if anyone else does this. I always screenshot things going, I need to remember that for later, screenshot, and then never go back to those screenshots. And then they stack up and people go, when they realise how much storage I've used. So I do clear them out regularly, and I think I've cleaned them out so far this year. I remembered that I had taken a screenshot of that book and I went and bought it on Prime, and I'm enjoying it so far. It is actually, yeah, it's interesting. It is about basically the crew of a TV show, I think, so far. So it's a husband and wife, couple of other crew members. The husband is thinks he sees ghosts or says he can see ghosts, and the wife is a scientist and doesn't believe in any of it, and they are a team together trying to prove / debunk together in their TV show. And they have come to a haunted house basically that is apparently very, 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 very haunted. And yeah, we're quite in the start, only 12%, so we'll see how we go, but I'm enjoying it a lot more than the previous book for sure. Watching, well, finished series 1 of The Traitors. That was brilliant. Straight on to season 2. Yeah, I love it. I really like it. It's really, we really struggle to turn it off. We keep, the episode will end and we're like, we should go to bed, but let's just watch the first 10 minutes of the next episode so that we can see who got murdered on the next, like in the night, and yeah. And then the other thing I've been watching is Buffy, and I haven't really been watching it. It's just on my iPad, and then when I'm working, it's just my background noise, to be honest. But it's a guilty pleasure. So I think that's everything apart from life stuff. So I have a couple of things that have happened life-wise this week. Not a lot's been happening with us, I don't think. I have a close family member who had an operation who absolutely bossed their way through it. And then I broke my toe. So this is the thing that is stopping me from spinning on my manual wheel. So on Sunday night about 5 o'clock, I kicked my bed. My bed has these wooden feet and they're square, and I just stubbed my toe, and my second and third toe usually sit like together, and then my fourth toe obviously doesn't look like that. Okay, here we go. This is the toe. 2 toes like that, slight gap, third toe, slight gap, little toe. Now middle toe doesn't sit like this anymore, it sits like over here. And I didn't think much of it. I thought I probably had broken it, to be honest, because of how it was sitting very differently and how much it hurt, and then started to bruise and swelling on my foot. So I thought, oh, it's probably broken, but there's not a lot you can do for a broken toe, especially not a broken middle toe, and it's not out of alignment, or in terms of like, it's not like up like that or anything. It's not crooked, it's just sitting slightly differently, but not in a way that is not toe-like. Anyway, I carried on about my business, as you do with a sore toe, and then Monday morning I woke up at 5 a.m, which is very early for me because I don't wake up early unless I force myself to, and it was because my toe was literally throbbing. It was so painful. I couldn't get my shoe on, I could barely weight bear, I was really struggling with it, and Chris had to do the school run on his own, and I was like, we'll keep an eye on this because it's really painful, but it's probably just broken and I need to rest it and keep it up. Came to work, did as much work as I could sitting down. Chris drove us because I don't think I couldn't have pushed down on an accelerator because it was throbbing that much and like hurting that much, and I couldn't get my shoe on. And yeah, throughout the day I have really bad circulation problems, and throughout the day it went cold and I couldn't warm it up, which isn't abnormal. I wear thermal socks all the time, but I couldn't get my foot warm, my toe in particular warm, and it stopped hurting. And by mid-morning it didn't hurt at all, and there was no feeling in there at all in my toe. And by lunchtime there was no sensation in the ball of my foot or my toes. Chris then drove us to the school, got the kids into the car, and then drove us home and left the kids with me at home because I can hobble around in the house, but I wouldn't have been up to much in terms of walking to and from school at that point or driving if the pain had come back. But it didn't hurt, it just felt really weird and completely numb. And yeah, I put the kids to bed and was worrying about it quite a lot. I called and tried to get advice at my GP, but they didn't have any spots later on in the day, in the afternoon when I called. Called pharmacy, went on the NHS website for broken toe, and it says that if you have numbness you need to go straight to A&E. I did not go to A&E because that seems crazy, and our A&E is always really stretched because they work very hard and public services are what they are nowadays in terms of funding. So I did the 111 checker thing online where you go through and you answer the questions, and it told me to go to A&E. Went in, explained, said I'm very happy to go absolutely anywhere else. I'm very happy to wait till tomorrow. I just want to know that because it's gone completely cold and because I have Raynaud's, I want to know that I'm okay. It's okay, because if there's no blood flow to it at all, there's no circulation to it, no blood flow getting to it, I don't want the tissue to die. I don't want to lose a toe particularly. But when I got into the A&E department at 8:30 that night, there were 93 people in the department. Most of them were in the waiting room, I think. There was a lot of people in there, and it was incredibly busy. I was triaged really quickly. They are so lovely. The nurses and everyone that works in there works so hard, and they get a lot of abuse, which they don't deserve because they're only in there doing their job, and it's nothing to do with them how this service is funded. But they were lovely. They spoke to me about it. They had a look at my toe. They agreed that I should be there, and they 100% said, no, you've done the right thing. Sent me off for an x-ray, which again feels ridiculous for a toe. So I got to A&E at 8:30 at night, and I got seen at 5:15 in the morning. So I nicked quite a bit of my Daft days, and I reworked the floor plan for EAYF, and I knit this much of a sock in A&E on Monday night. Anyway, I got seen by a really lovely doctor who was run off his feet, who showed me the x-ray, confirmed the break, and had a little look at my foot and agreed, very cold, and that I can use a hot water bottle and whatever I need to keep it warm. Don't worry about the bruising, just do what I need to do to keep it warm. But said there is still a pulse in my toe, but I have to go to fracture clinic next week and I need to keep an eye on it. I got a very attractive little buddy compression bandage, so it goes over the toe next to it and the toe that's actually broken. And it's really funny because when he was putting it onto my foot, he kept going, is that okay? Was that okay? Was that okay? And he was like looking up at me, and the whole time I was going, I have said already, I can't feel it at all. I can't feel you. There is no sensation in those toes whatsoever. And he felt awful, and every time he was pulling this bandage down on my toes, thinking that I was going to cry out in pain. And I do have a low pain threshold. I would cry out in pain. Couldn't feel it at all. Still can't feel it actually. And my absolute highlight, and gosh, I hope they don't stop this, because if they do, I'll be gutted. But at the moment, and when I say they don't stop this, I hope the management of the hospital don't ever put an end to this, but there is a cat called Bobby who lives opposite the hospital, and Bobby comes in a lot. And Bobby was in multiple times throughout my wait in A&E and cheered me up every time. I petted that cat like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, Bobby the cat, my highlight of A&E, cheered me up every time, and I needed cheering up because I was losing the will towards the end. Anyway, I think that was everything. I've just spoken to you for ages about a toe. Oh my gosh. If you've got all the way to the absolute end here, as I'm knitting on socks right now, leave me a sock emoji. There must be a sock emoji, I'm sure there is. So leave me a sock emoji or a shoe emoji if you don't have a sock. Thank you so much, and don't forget to go back and enter the giveaway on my last video. Thank you as always for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.